So I'm very excited because, yeah, I just am. Hey everybody, this is Space Marine Steve from Play on Tabletop and here at Hyperspace Hobbies, and I'm coming at you with another 10th edition combo video. But today we're taking a very focused look at some of the non-compliant Space Marine chapters, and we're going to start this little series of videos with Space Wolves. Yes, the Icy Brethren from Fenris. And we're going to be giving you 3 more of our combos. There's a bunch of these videos all coming in a series. You'll see them real soon, so make sure that you take some time to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff so that you can get all of these 10th edition combos as the edition rolls out. A very special shout out to our friends over at Mid-Table Tactics. Mid-Table Tactics is this fantastic YouTube channel. I've been on it a few times myself. You can visit them down in the description box. I've tagged their YouTube channel. They put on some fantastic live battle reports for it, and they've started up doing 10th edition now. So if you want to listen to some games, it's fantastic to put on in the background. And of course, Play on Tabletop. If you like the shorter form battle reports, edited down, go and check out that channel too if you haven't or don't know me from there already. So the first Space Wolf combo that I am sending out into the Warhammer universe is a combination of Wolfguard, and I know Wolfguard have taken a little bit of a beating with the change of all of their customizable weapons to heirloom weapons, but that's okay. They do have a stellar ability called Chosen Champions, and while a character is in the unit, they'll get +1 to hit when they're attacking. Taking all of those heirloom weapons, hitting on 3s, up to hitting on 2s. Super reliable. When you pair them with Ulrik the Slayer, and I have been waiting so long for Ulrik the Slayer to be good enough for me to paint him up and put him on the table. I'm so excited that now is the time. Now is definitely the time. Why? Because he has this fantastic rule, and this rule makes it so that whatever unit that he's leading gets to reroll ones to hit and reroll ones to wound when they're fighting. If they're fighting against monsters or vehicles or characters, they get to re-roll hits and wounds. Whoa. That means that you're turning a unit of Wolfguard that are already very reliable into just like soul-crushingly reliable. The amount of attacks, the amount of rerolls, the amount of damage that you can crank through, and they sit in the sweet spot of damage too. They've got strength 5, even though it's only AP -1, there's a stratagem to fix that. You can up their AP value, but they sit in the sweet spot of strength, right? Strength 5 is now the sweet spot. Because of the way that they've changed toughness across vehicles and monsters, on average, they're sitting like toughness 9 for like most transports and lighter vehicles, which means that you can go up to those vehicles and you can go up to those medium-sized monsters and still be wounding them on 5s. And with Ulrik's rerolls, you can actually get a lot of damage through. So it's a great and economic cheap. It's a cheap unit, especially when you toss in Ulrik the Slayer. It doesn't even bump over the 300-point range. And I've seen some unit combos go to like the 500 and 600-point range, right? So this is a very economic choice. For the amount of output that you get, it's absolutely insane. Ian, a very good friend of mine here at Hyperspace Hobbies, we were eating eggs the other day, and we were talking about how much we were disappointed in the sagas for Space Wolves. Here, you can take a quick look at them here. Actually, you don't need to look at them. They aren't easy to do even in the slightest. And they're a Space Wolf rule that is frustrating because these detachment rules are supposed to give your army a bonus to help you play the game, but they've put a barrier in front of Space Wolves where you have to accomplish something first, and then your army gets this bonus. Now, you've got 4 potential ones. A couple of them are impossible, so we won't be counting those, and some of them are good, but just hard to accomplish. And I've been thinking about it a lot. What they want is they want to incentivize you to put units together and construct your army, not just to have a bonus, but to chase the bonus. And while that is annoying, it has made me think about pairing units and Space Wolves in a different way. And I think that this bleeds out into other armies as well. Really think about what the game is trying to incentivize you to do and how you can pair units together to accomplish whatever it is you need to accomplish. So, one of the sagas, the one that has you claiming an opponent's objective. It is hard to lift units from objectives, especially in 10th with AP being, much lower on average now. And you've also got to like control the objective, so you've got to get a unit to it and sit on it. So I'm thinking to myself, well, what's the way to do this? Well, Space Wolves gives you a way. And the way is, 1, Ragnar Blackmane. 1, he gets a unit moving, he gets them hustling. Right? He gets them to advance and charge in the same round. He also hits like a truck when he charges in because his sword goes from strength 6 to strength 8 and it does a boatload of damage. It will lift almost on its own, by itself, everything. Okay? But when you pair him with a squad of Assault Intercessors, well, the Assault Intercessors reroll 1s to wound in combat, which is excellent. But additionally, they reroll wounds when they're fighting for an objective, which is exactly what you actually want to do because of that saga. And if you put 5 of those Assault Intercessors and Blackmane inside of an Impulsor, you can set up the right charge and just have them get out, advance, charge, get onto your opponent's objective, and clear it in one fell swoop. It's one of the few units, I think, that are actually going to be able to go in and fully do that. And the great thing is that it doesn't take much. It's 1 character and 5 intercessors. But the math actually is brutal. Not only does Blackmane have a boatload of attacks, but so do the Assault Intercessors. It all has AP. Some of it is multiple damage. And then you get just gnarly rerolls. And you can just reach over there, strike down an opponent's unit, be sitting on that objective with reasonable objective control, and then you also score your saga. And you could do this as early as turn 2. And I think that people aren't going to see that kind of reach and power coming from the unit. And they won't see then the bonus you're going to get from the saga as it affects the rest of the game. And I think that it is a really good way to just reach out. It's a very slight reach out and slap somebody, right? And so then they're going to have to pivot and they're going to have to worry because what they can't do is they can't let that unit do it again to one of their home objectives. And finally, in my last combo is so much fun. So here's the combo. Murderfang's fists, just both of them, the left one and the right one. Murderfang doesn't need help, doesn't want help, and he has this fantastic ability. It's so ridiculous. Anytime that he gets attacked, he just shoots back or fights back. So there's no limit on this. I read it 3 times over and there's no limit. So I shoot him with a bolt gun and he shoots me back. I hit him with a sword and he hits my unit back. And then in the fight phase, he just fights. He just continues to fight. And he actually has a silly amount of attacks. A dumb amount of attacks. He has 8 attacks at strength 14, AP minus 2/3 damage. He will kill anything. And the claws are twin-linked, so they're re-rolling wounds and stuff. It is so strong and so annoying to deal with. Yes, I know, he's got an objective control of 0. Who cares? That's not what he's for. He's for just outflanking, putting in your opponent's deployment zone, and then just running him at stuff. That's all you have to do. And then you just let your opponent worry about it. He moves 8 inches, which is a dumb amount. And then on top of that, he has a 6-up feel no pain. So if people are trying to get rid of him, he might shrug off some of the wounds. He is his own combo. Him and his 2 fists. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here today on the deck of Hyperspace Hobbies. I'm very excited that this series has started and so excited to have so many new subscribers. Thank you so much for subbing to the channel. I hope that you love listening, watching, and playing along with everything that we've got going on here at Hyperspace Hobbies. So until I see you next time, have a good night.